There we go. All right, so this is what an instance of TeamVibe looks like. It's a private instance for Active Network in this case. It's locked down with a company email address. Each one of these tiles we call a vibe, and each vibe is essentially a micro-community dedicated to a specific company program, social group, or common interest. It's very, as you can see, it's very clean and modern looking. It's almost Pinteresty in a way. You can sort through different categories and customize the different categories of programs. Obviously, every company has a different culture. Some might want to focus more on health and wellness. Some might want to focus more on learning. It's up to you how you create your TeamVibe instance. But each of these vibes acts as a mechanism for you to organize around a specific activity or special interest. Go into a vibe here real quick. Very simple functionality, event calendar, discussions, and members. So the event calendar replaces the flyers in the hallways and the bathrooms that are always around that nobody sees. It gives you the ability to see what's going on. You can jump into a full calendar here and actually RSVP for events. You can see other people that are going to the events. So you can see which of your coworkers are participating. You can jump into their profiles and start to learn a little bit more about your coworkers, put a face to the name and see what they're interested in based on the things they participate in. You can of course message them and do all those things. There's other tools that do that as well, but we think there's an important line to draw between business and work tools and the company culture tools. So the context of this platform is to organize all that other stuff that doesn't make up your day-to-day job. The third piece, so that's events and members. The third piece is discussions. And discussions is quite a bit different than social media today, where everything's feed-based and sort of flies off the page. You know, in real time, you only see half the stuff. If you miss a day, you missed a whole bunch of stuff. This is more discussion form, so you're actually building up evergreen content. If I started a topic about overcoming injuries in yogas in December, that could still be going for days or weeks or months. People can come in and out, people can revive it, and you're building up a repository of good content. This is health and wellness, but the vibe can be dedicated to sales training, or executive leadership, or a local green team, or fundraising, or community efforts, on and on and on, you get the idea. The point is that anyone can roll out a vibe and start to organize things within the workplace. Every vibe has a champion or champions. So we put the power in the hands of the employees. So the person that's passionate about yoga runs the yoga vibe. The person that loves basketball runs lunchtime hoops. And they're the ones that really facilitate the content, schedule the events, improve members, and manage the day-to-day. If I am interested in something as I'm browsing around, I can join a vibe. And doing that basically lets me subscribe to that vibe. I get one email a day now that consolidates everything that I'm into, all the events, all the discussion, everything that's going around the workplace on the things that I've selected and nothing that I haven't selected. So that takes everything out of the email. It cuts down the noise that goes around every day in the workplace to organize and facilitate these things. The best part about it is that every company already has this stuff happening organically. So we'll go into a company and the first thing we do is just capture the 15, 20, 50 things that are already going on, and when we deploy, the employees are seeing things they're already familiar with and they get right in. But from that point on, it's meant to be organic and grassroots, as I said, where any employee can come in and create a vibe. We have some call to actions here, and if they do that, we've built almost like an app store, we call it, of templates of a lot of the common things that most companies need. So if I want to bring Toastmasters into my company, because I'm a fan of public speaking, I can come in here. You know, we got some preloaded images to make it pretty easy. I can customize some settings, and boom. We like to say, you can launch a vibe in 30 seconds. Now that goes into a pending state, and HR has to approve everything, so things aren't just going out crazy, but it allows people to roll things out really easy and test them and see what resonates. While the champions run the individual vibes, we have a pretty cool dashboard for HR and for the executives that start to give them actual culture analytics that they haven't seen before. So what are people interested in the company? Maybe someone started a gaming vibe. I never would have thought of that as an executive. And for the third month in a row, it's the #2 trending vibe. Maybe I should invest some money in gaming, events and initiatives rather than take people to the Padres game every year. So that's about it. There's a lot more under the hood. There's a lot of intelligence that's built in the platform to listen to things that are active or inactive, identify those, shut things down automatically if they're not going well or not trending. And that's it. I'm happy to take any questions. Yeah, on a couple tips. So the question was, can you share what's working well across the organization or with other organizations? Absolutely. So you have a big company with multiple offices. Something in the Boston office is going really well. Part of the dashboard will identify that and maybe roll it out as a global program. We're also doing some analytics across the platform that start to identify things that people are using and liking, and we build those into the App Store as a template. So it makes it really easy. And we kind of, if you're a customer of the product, we send you, monthly updates on here's some great ideas, this is what's working for other companies. Obviously, their information is their own, and we don't disclose that, but from a global level, we can't do that. Yes. Yeah, it's a SaaS. My question was model. It's a SaaS model, so it's priced per employee per month. Yep. Right. Absolutely. So the question is the marketplace, can you grow into a marketplace? And that's absolutely kind of a home run view for us. We're focusing on the SaaS and trying to make some money now. But if obviously chicken and egg, if you get a lot of clients on the platform and we're in a lot of companies servicing a lot of employees, it makes perfect sense to add vendors and anything from yoga instructors to e-learning programs, bring them into that marketplace. And the nice thing about it is because the company can pick and choose which vibes they want, it's not like we're putting advertising in front of them, right? They just have options. Exactly. Exactly. But if I have a pre-built vibe that's templated out, that's packed with content from a thought leader, that wants, maybe Jeremiah has a vibe that he wants to, offer up to companies. You can charge for it or not, it's up to him. But you could basically deploy that pre-packaged vibe into a company with one click. Yes. Yeah, good question. So how do you get a company that has something that's kind of working to write its check? Well, we built it to layer on top of things. So we know there's big players, there's Slacks, there's intranets, there's things out there that people use for general day-to-day communication. We're layering on top of that, we're integrating with that. We hope that the call out of it being a culture platform is strong enough that, at the end of the day, it's a SaaS product that we built for the employees, right? The employees have to love to use this. And a lot of HR tools are great for HR people and not great for employees. I don't want to take them in their survey, I don't want to do that stuff, right? So the idea is that you can use whatever you want as the foundation. It could be this, it could be your intranet, and we drive people there. So we're going to do a Slack integration that will have a Team Vibe channel that will drive cultural things, people using Slack to this platform when they want updates on different stuff. As far as moving the budget over, obviously the ROI on this is employee satisfaction, lower attrition. Everybody knows the numbers of it, $100,000 if you lose an employee to replace them or more. So at the end of the day, hopefully it stands on its own as a valuable tool to keep your employees happy and motivated. Yes? There's a technical guy. It's all on Node.js with React and Redux, so all the social components there. Yes, it's very fast. Push notifications. I'm sorry? Oh, smartphones. So today, we built it for web and mobile friendly. We don't have an app version yet. We're building that. Obviously, it's a little more expensive to build the apps. When we have the native apps, then you'll get the push notifications. But in the meantime, the daily email digest that kind of gives you, everything that's going on is the main form of re-engagement, of course. Yes? Right. The question was, did we have any research that appeals to millennials? Other than the design, we hope it does. The nice thing about millennials is people that aren't millennials don't know how to please millennials, and if they think it does, then they'll buy it just to try to please the millennials. But seriously, we tried to build it so it was appealing to a younger generation, but also easy enough to use to non-millennials or the older generation as well. We don't have any research on that. We hope through the usage stats that we can prove, and obviously we can slice and dice age groups and all that kind of stuff down the road, but we're not quite there yet. Yeah.
The question is, do employees know that their data is being shown to HR? Do employees know that their emails are being shown to HR? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we told the line there, obviously. I mean, Slack, same thing. You know, they have retention policies, and you know, anything you say on Slack, even in a private channel, is ultimately the company's domain. So we don't publicize that, and then the stats we give, we try to do aggregate in the back end and whatnot. Ultimately, an admin can go in and read any message in any vibe, and that's just the nature of corporate, right? I don't know. I mean, they might know. I mean, it's on the website. We don't hide it. It's not like a secret, you know. No, it's not like you get HR dashboard that employees don't know about. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So I can very quickly answer which vibe I would put as a package. It'd be very simple. It'd be a few words. It'd say beer, 30, description, cheeseburger in paradise, I think is what it would be. And I wonder if people would actually buy that. I think. Yeah, see? There you go. Oh, we got technology. So back in no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so it's pretty incredible what's being built. It's 3 in. Anyone really itching for some wine or some beer, you can tackle those guys. Just, yeah, they're looking around. They know they have it. So, quick thing, what do you think so far? Doing good? Doing well? The front's doing well. Typically they do. If you're a front sitter, you're usually really engaged in things. I hope that's true for you. I'm a back sitter. Actually, I'm a back stander. Because if something sucks, I want to get out of there really, really fast. So congratulations, they're having fun. How about the back? Are you guys doing all right? See the difference between their enthusiasm with your front? You guys are like, woohoo! We're all into it. They're like, yeah, it's yay, flat. Back, how are you doing? A little bit better? There we go. How are we looking, guys? Ready to stall some more? We're good. Please welcome Daniel from Democracy Counts.
Thank you, my name is Daniel Wolf. I'm with a new nonprofit startup called Democracy Counts. As we all know in this room, every public company in the United States is required to be audited every quarter. And yet, strangely enough, the most important decisions that we make as a nation, as individuals, which is to say electing our president and electing members of Congress and legislatures and so on, is never audited. There's a lot of evidence, statistical, circumstantial, and in some cases small amounts of direct evidence, suggesting that a lot of elections in the United States are manipulated, if not outright flipped. The Democracy Counts has developed a system to audit elections. We ran a beta last Tuesday the 7th, in San Diego, Los Angeles, and Berkeley. It's not a complicated system, but it is a challenging system. It basically relies on a lot of volunteers and a number of apps feeding data into real-time databases, such that when the polls close, we start comparing our data with the official results. And when we see discrepancies, we flag them. We have analytic people. We will be having analytic people. We don't have those teams set up yet. To analyze the discrepancies, run significance tests, that sort of thing. And then be prepared overnight to turn solid, direct evidence over to legal teams, whoever has standing, whoever the candidates are who are allegedly being defrauded, so they can go into court the next day or the day after, before the results have been certified, and ask for a preliminary injunction against certification and an order for investigation, so that essentially the judiciary can trigger a prosecutorial investigation at a much higher resource expenditure level than any private party in the United States is capable of doing. We are planning to make this software available, and as well, of course, there's the human so there's a lot of human elements to it, a lot of professionalism, it's nonpartisan. We were going to make it available to the world after November. We're planning to audit the battleground states in November. It's a big effort. We'll have to recruit something in the order of 50,000 volunteers to do this. But we plan to develop essentially the platinum standard of auditing evidence. Now I'm going to show you, this is a workaround we've got here. Interestingly, because of the election and probably 1,000 emails, I did not even know we'd been selected for this until late last night. And so I thought, okay, what's the easiest way to make this visible to everybody? Well, I grabbed my friend's iPad. Guess what? Right? That's the worst thing you can use for this. So now the tech people here have done a really good job. So basically the way this works, there's a number of apps, but this is the platinum standard one. A voter goes in and votes, comes out, and and presumably as we talk to, this was some voter education, and comes out and votes again, essentially. So there's a parallel vote. We need very high response levels, of course, to make this work. We're using a distributed database. We're working with blockchain technology. We may have some fallbacks for now. This is a kind of a fallback app. And so it's time and location stamped, so we know where the poll is. You fill out, you just say, who wants to vote? Anybody want to take a vote again? Okay, I'm going to vote for somebody nobody knows. Martin O'Malley. Okay, now, right now, we voted for president. That's all we've done for the beta test. We're going to go a little bit further down ballot in November, not very far because it's very resource intensive. Every nth voter, we're going to be doing some statistical analysis so that we can extend the power of the data. So we'll ask for the voters' gender, we'll ask for age, we'll ask for race, and so on. This is basically the CNN poll. So, were you born in the US? Yes. What's your party identification? I'm an independent. There's an ideology question, I'm a moderator, whatever it is. Anyway, I'm going to jump to the bottom, and then I'm going to save it. Now, this is the person standing with their app outside, and then, so now the person has voted and their data has gone onto the database. It's uploaded, it's permanent, it's beyond reach, it's verifiable end-to-end and transparent, which is a model for voting systems as well. And then we do a little bit of legalism. We ask people to sign a declaration. So we ask for, ignore the public key, that's there on accident. We put their name in. The precinct is set by the GPS. They put in their address, and there's a code and so on. And then the declaration, there's a declaration there that says, basically, it affirms that the vote that I am casting right now in this independent kind of parallel election is the same vote as I cast inside. And because we have the person's contact information, of course, as long as we have their name, we could contact them through official information as well. But this gives us a quick way to contact them. So if their parties are in court submitting this declaration along with the evidence of the vote, they can, it's very straightforward for the judge to say, okay, there's real people attesting to the correctness of their vote. And then they sign it. You finish signing it, you save it, and then you're back to the start again, and you work with another voter. Now there's other elements to this, but basically what we're doing here, who is, I'm sure everybody in this audience has heard of Buckminster Fuller, right?
Of what?
He invented the geodesic dome, for the one person who doesn't know him. He used to call himself Mr. Trim Tab. What we're about here is being like the trim tab on a rudder of a high-speed aircraft. It's very hard to turn the rudder against the high-speed wind. So instead, the engineers, they put a little trim tab on the rudder, and that's easier to turn. And then the wind pushes the rudder around, and then the